Postings, internet postings. This happens all the time. We always post jobs. Okay, I post my name, we always tell who we are, tell them where we're at, tell them how to apply, and then what happens as soon as the ad gets posted? Phone starts ringing. Hey, I saw that job, how do I apply for it? Well, you have to go back and read it. It tells you everything you need to know. No, it doesn't. Oh, let's pull it up and read it. And we go back through it. All they look at is open job, phone number, call. It said post for it, send a resume or what have you. Even when I do open interviews, I have people call me and tell me how to apply. So I have open interviews 9 to 11:30, 1 to 3:30. Hey, how do I apply for this job? Hey, what time are you open? Hey, how much does it pay? All those things are listed in the ad. How many people here look at Craigslist for jobs? I would advise that you do look at Craigslist. There is a lot of good jobs on there. It just takes a little practice on how to look through them. After a while, you'll figure out what's a real job and what's a kind of a BS job. And the other thing is you'll see the same ads over and over and over and over and over. Because nobody has any creativity. So let's just post the same ad and post it for 5 years. So don't neglect using Craigslist. When you do your resume, make sure your contact information is right. I cannot tell you how many times I've picked up the phone to call somebody and their phone's off, or their phone doesn't work, or it's Aunt Edna's number, or it's the girlfriend who thinks the gal from my office is calling is the person that is her husband's cheating on. So you need to make sure your contact information, and you laugh, but I'll tell you, there's people that are sending hundreds of resumes out with the wrong contact information. Take out your resume, call the number, make sure it rings, and send yourself an email. That way you're 100% sure that that stuff is available. Just because you have a resume doesn't mean you have to give it to everybody. You want to make sure you give it at the right time. Let that person request it. Or let them come up with some ideas. I mean, if you develop a rapport, then you can have a conversation about, hey, if you know of any opportunities, I'm looking for a position. One of the things that I look at when I look at resumes is employment gaps. You might have a year, 2 years, whatever it is. My question is, what were you doing for that time? I've had people tell me, well, I need to take a break. I needed to take a break. That was the answer. That translation to me is lazy. Okay, they took a break. I mean, they volunteered maybe to leave, or they lost a job and just didn't do nothing for 2 years. Now you're in trying to interview with somebody and tell them why you're great, but you took a break. And the guy you're talking to he's going crazy. He's got tons of stuff to do, so he can't or she can't make the connection there. I get a lot of this, well, how come I have to fill out your app? Because I sent you a resume. Well, that's great. But a resume is a commercial. It's not a legal document. So your resume is great, but it better match the application. Because that's one of the first things we're going to look at, to make sure those dates match up. Never turn down an opportunity to interview. If somebody calls you for an interview, go. Why? Because I need to practice. You don't go buy a set of clubs and run down the golf course and think you're Tiger Woods. I mean, you have to get good at this stuff, and being good requires practice. Bring all your stuff. Fill out whatever they want. Be friendly in the office, because remember, the person that's sitting in front of you gets paid to find candidates. If you're somebody that's not a very good interviewer or is not very savvy socially, you're actually excluding yourself from a lot of companies because they're not going to reconsider you. A lot of people treat the recruiters, some of them in my office, pretty rudely a lot of times. And I always wonder, like, what do you get out of that? You get nothing. So working with staffing companies can be difficult. I'm not telling you everybody's ethical, but again, what else you got to do? You might as well go and interview with as many of these places as you can see, because the more people you see, the closer you get to getting a decent position. I had a sales position open that I finally filled. I had 6 appointments last week and 50% of the people no-show. And why did they do that? I have no idea. It doesn't make any sense to me. I haven't been able to explain it. It's stupidity, because then I blackball you. You will never be allowed to interview at Momentum if you no-show an appointment, ever. That's what I had somebody go, how long am I on the blackball list? And I go, well, until I die or sell the company. Now, in the job seeker's mind, they might have said, well, I don't really want to go to a staffing company. I don't want to waste my time. I mean, I have people call me that all the time. Is this going to be a waste of my time? And I go, yeah, it is going to be a waste of my time. When you ask questions like that, you're already telling people I'm not really interested. How many people here attend networking events? How many people here bring resumes with them? Stop doing that. Because remember what the purpose of most networking events are if you go. They're usually businesses and things like that. The last thing they want to talk to is people that don't have jobs. So you have to go into a different mode, the stealth mode. Get up at the same time, do your research at the same time, make your phone calls, call people about positions, stay in touch with friends. Don't just cut people out because you don't have a job. Your true friends will be the ones that will be probably your best resource to find work, because that's what moves your resume to the top of the pile, is who you know. It's still an old school network.